Hi, my name is Don Dowden. Don't be frightened. I took a tumble yesterday while walking my son's dog to the dog groomer, and it took 14 stitches to put me together again. I should be more presentable in time for the presentation in June. My talk is about the nature as opposed to the mechanics of consciousness. And I approach it from the standpoint of what I call the association problem. The question is, why should your consciousness be associated with your particular brain as opposed to the brain of anyone else? And the answer is, there's no good reason for that. There is no law of nature, no law of physics, which would map your consciousness uniquely onto your brain as opposed to the brain of someone else. I have many thought experiments that all point in the same direction, and let me just share one of them with you for purposes of this presentation, and it involves the twinning process. We know that the twinning process occurs naturally in the womb, early in a pregnancy, maybe once every 80 births or so. Suppose it could happen much later. Suppose it could happen to an adult. Suppose it happened to you last night as you slept. You wake up this morning and you feel normal. You remember going to bed last night. Everything seems fine, except there is a shocking new presence in the house. In the bed beside you, there is this guy who looks just like you. And you say, whoa, wait a minute. Where did you come from? And he looks at you and says the same thing. Well, I came from right here. I went to bed last night, and this morning I woke up. Who are you? And you start talking, and it turns out you both say you have the same name, you live in the same house, you have the same job, and you have the same wife. So this is really getting both of you agitated. And the question is, which twin, call them twin A, twin B, has the greater claim to being the successor of the person who went to bed last night? And the answer is, they have an equal claim. Neither one has a claim to being the successor to the person who went to bed last night that is superior to the claim of the other. So the person who went to bed last night is now resident in each of those brains. And if one twin were to die in an accident, the other twin lives, well, you're still living. If this twin dies in an accident and the other twin lives, well, you're still living. And what is true of these two identical twins is also true of people who have different genetic makeup. I have many thought experiments involving mutations at the time of at the moment of conception, involving severance of the corpus callosum, which produces seemingly two conscious entities in one skull, with really bizarre consequences in an experimental setup. I think this is an idea worth sharing. There are many experiences, but only one experiencer who takes up residence wherever matter is suitably organized to accommodate it. So that would be your brain and my brain and the brain of Cleopatra and the brain of people yet unborn. This same experiencer takes up residence in each of these brains. I think that's an idea worth sharing, and I hope you'll let me do that. Thank you.